The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead. And we're off in week 2. To return it, Alvin Kamara. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their 6'6" quarterback. They'll run for the first time with Mark Ingram. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29. And a very good offensive unit here. One of the reasons they're so good is running back Mark Ingram.
Took a little while for him to find his footing when he got into the league, but the former Heisman Trophy winner has it now and has really upped his pass receiving potential. A nice player.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. Ingram again. A little juke. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down. And a look at the Vikings defensive unit.
Daniil Hunter is an excellent example of the right player, the right athlete, meeting the right scheme. And he found it in Minnesota under head coach Mike Zimmer. Many people thought he might have been too undersized to play defensive end. What Zim saw was a heck of a guy off the edge, super quickness, someone who can get to the quarterback in the right situations, and that's how he deploys him.
They'll look to throw here. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a fourth down.
I think the training and practice broke down on that play because he simply didn't run the route deep enough to get to the first down marker, despite what was a really nice catch and toe tap on the sideline.
Yeah, that's third down 101. You got to go to the marker, know where it is. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And tough starting field position here. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line.
When Nick Fairley's on his game, he is your prototypical defensive tackle who can make disruptive plays. Great hands, really good quickness.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on third down. Back near his goal line, here's Keenum going deep for Diggs. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. Fourth down now.
Now that's a great opening series defensively. You force what should be a 3-and-out on your opening possession.
And great coverage there on third down to force the incompletion to set up fourth. Here's Matt Darr now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Now it's Ginn. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here, and a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the first quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers, tight ends that might be flexed out, they've got to control the edge and make sure no one there.
So it'll be first down here after the run. Now a play fake here on first down. And his throw here is incomplete. He was trying to get it that time to Ted Ginn. That'll bring up second down.
When we talk with people about what we think the most important quality for an NFL quarterback to possess, what do people usually say?
Arm strength, and he showed the arm strength there.
Yeah, pretty good bullet pass he threw, but he wasn't accurate, was he?
No.
Listen, you like mobility, but accuracy, first and foremost, is what a quarterback needs. He didn't possess it on that play.
On second down, Ingram. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. That's now 4 tackles for loss if you add the 3 he had last week to the 1 here in the first quarter.
And some of it comes from vision. And when you're playing defensive end, especially with those teams that want to take their D-ends and move them out a little bit wider so they can see into the offensive backfield, they can see things develop, able to make plays, then they use their athletic ability to take over and spill them.
They're going to look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Here's Thomas Morstead now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed them for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
Here's Matt Darr now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Call that 49 yards on the punt. They do get 7 back on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now the Saints get set to trot out there.
And this is their 3rd drive. Maybe the focus right now not so much on points, but getting their first down.
And when you start off a game, you don't even think that's an issue, do you? But you go a drive, a 2nd drive, no 1st down, that becomes an issue. Now you got to think about, okay, what type of play calling do I have to do to get us in a spot to pick that first one up?
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Well, look there at Ingram's numbers from a week ago. 23 carries, 87 yards.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, where that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Out to the flat, that's complete to his running back. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
Here we go. Green.
They run from the pistol with Ingram. And some room to maneuver. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But I also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
So they got him coming up from his linebacker spot.
And sometimes the position designation really doesn't matter. If you creep up to the line of scrimmage, you just have to look for the football. Make sure it moves before you do.
And into the red zone now. And, Charles, they told us offense in the red zone was a focus this week in practice.
A huge priority, and the key was to get points. So you know that all the time during the week they talked about executing, taking care of the football, no big mistakes. Make sure they put points on the board and come out of it with that.
It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So they almost turn it over there. Scary moment. 2nd down here. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
Jumpy on the right side of the line.
Sometimes when you're on the end, a little bit farther away from the ball, any type of movement will get you to jump, and that's exactly what happened there.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. After the penalty, it's Ingram. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. So stuff for no gain on 2nd down brings up a pretty interesting 3rd from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm going to let them know right away I'm throwing it. I'm probably giving my quarterback some room, sprint him out to one side or the other, and give him an opportunity. If it breaks down, he can take off and run for it.
They'll set up to throw. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. They are able to get 9 yards out of that, but now it's 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. So this offensive unit, they've now had 3 drives, and they only have 3 points to show for it.
Payoff is the key for everything. How many offenses have we talked to that say we have to finish drives? Thus far, this team hasn't finished it quite the way they wanted to.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This will be taken in at the 1. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And this is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. There are the numbers for Cook from a week ago. 25 carries, 77 yards.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on. And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Keenum going to try and throw on 3rd down. And he finds Cook. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Well, the offense lining up 1st and 10. Handoff comes to Cook. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Second down following the run. Again, it's Cook. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. To throw is Keenum. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Nick Fairley able to get him down for a loss of 11 on the play. And it'll be 4th down. They were trying to set up that screen, trying to get that screen to formulate. Took too long.
Ends up taking a sack, and that leads you to a couple of other questions. Number one, why don't you just get rid of the football near the screen guy so that you don't take an interception? But really the big one, they just took everything away, and he was really kind of flummoxed on that play and ended up taking the sack.
And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. The Minnesota defense, we watch them get set to roll. And despite being down on the scoreboard, this unit, they've had some big-time hits.
Sort of like us at practice the other day. I saw you take a running start at that blocking sled. You took it down.
Bounced off like a rubber band.
No, not at all, but you're exactly right. They are doing their job, but they want to add takeaways to it. You need to have more of those to go along with the big hits we're seeing.
By the way, when I tried that and I bounced back, I noticed that you laughed with everyone else. You didn't try to get in my corner.
No. Someone had just told me a joke on the other side.
Right,
I missed that. Totally missed it.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The numbers for Thomas from last week's effort. 4 catches, 58 yards.
And they've gone to him early in this one. I sense a theme, one that I expect to continue throughout this contest.
Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find open space to throw.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. Looking to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. And now it's second down.
We always talk about receivers. If the ball hits your hand, you're supposed to haul it in, but it is hard to adjust to a pass thrown a little bit behind you.
That one was all the momentum going forward. Couldn't contort his body back to grab it. Second down here after the incomplete pass. They'll drop to throw. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Seth Roberts, and it's third down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here. That looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. The Saints on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10.
Here we go.
Back to throw. It's complete to Flainer. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A pickup of 24 on the third down conversion. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
And not much running room. Down to the 32. A gain of 3, second down.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
On play action, they'll throw. The catch made over the middle by Ginn. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down.
Great changeup there on the route and got that inside release, made it a successful pitch and catch.
Well, the first thing you want to do is have him thinking that you're going outside, make a move in that direction. Then you really don't run the route against the whole body of the defender. You run against a half of him, and the inside half, and he took it right across his face, got inside, and won that route in a big way.
A 10th carry here for Mark Ingram. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
He'll look to throw. His pass caught at the 4. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection.
They run it. It's Charles. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Now Jamal Charles, might be in some pain here, remaining down on the ground. We'll check on his status when we get back.
Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field.
They'll look to run with Ingram. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Back to throw here. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Looked like they had a window to get that in there, but a good job rallying defensively.
Excellent timing. No pass interference. The hit jars it loose, and now they force them into a decision. Do you go for it on 4th down or kick the field goal?
And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. This just a 24-yard attempt. And Bullock will put this one through, and that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So they get 3. They were hoping for 6, an unlucky number 13 play drive.
Well, you go to the sideline after putting 3 points on the board, happy, but you wanted to be ecstatic. You wanted to have 6 on the board. On the opposite sideline, though, the defense, I think they're high-fiving each other, only giving up 3 after letting them run that much offense.
This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you've got a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
There's still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. On the carry, it's Cook. And a big tackle there as the defender runs right through him at the 29. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Partner, you make headset.
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. On 2nd down, Cook breaks the tackle, now an alley. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
10th carry in the game for Cook. And he's going to be run over, hit hard, as he'll be marked down at the 46. 12 yards on back-to-back plays there, and that's another first down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
They go play action here on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Cameron Jordan. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you've got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
Cook following the penalty. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Throwing is Keenum on 3rd down. And complete, right side, the tight end Rudolph. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. I mean, size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
On to try the field goal now, Phil Dawson. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. And Dawson's kick is good. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So it's been a battle of field goals here early on. I guess if this were a soccer game, it'd be 2-1, but instead here it's now 6-3.
You mean if this were a football game? Give credit to both defenses, though. When push comes to shove here early, they've held the line. And neither of these offenses have been able to break through.
This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And we shift our attention to Mark Ingram. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. Again, they'll run with Ingram. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. The Saints on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Now back to throw. And that is incomplete.
I'm not sure we can spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is taken at about the 14. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And he goes out of bounds across the 40-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Now a play fake, and it's Keenum. He's going to fire one deep over the... And this is caught at the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. Well, they went play action there and set it up nicely for him. I mean, he can flat fly, and they hit him downfield.
And it doesn't take much to create that extra bit of space that a guy of his speed needs. If you go play action, all you want is just a moment where the guys covering take their attention somewhere else, and then he's by him. And once he's by him, there's no catching him. As they always like to say, if a receiver's even to a defensive back, that means he's leaving.
Unless that DB is Charles Davis, right?
In that case, he left me a long time ago.
Come on now.
Trust me.
So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's polished off by a Viking score. Here's Dawson now to kick this one away. On the return, it's Ted Ginn Jr. Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. And a lot of times you talk about establishing the ground game. Probably something they need to do more of here, losing in the second quarter.
When you're riding your best horse, you've got to lather him up. The best running backs I've ever talked to, they've all said the exact same thing to me. I'll even break a good sweat until I get to 20 carries.
You're full of good wisdom. Let's see if they can get him into the game more now. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
Well, this is one of the downsides of being a rookie quarterback. You know you're going to get called out about everything you do that goes wrong. Here, maybe he's a little uncertain about where to go with the football. And at this level, uncertainty equals turnovers. And this one winds up being intercepted.
Here's Stephon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. He's delivered a solid performance so far here in the second quarter.
Everything has been good for him. And right now, if you're on defense, you don't want it to go to great. So you have to just change up coverages and looks on him all the time. Press coverage sometimes, back off and play some man, show some zone, double team him, make him really work for each and every catch.
He's hit the end zone once. Maybe there's more in the tank.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
So 2nd and 10 here. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
Back to the air. Keenum on 2nd down. And Rudolph has it left side. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Now it's Keenum. He'll find Thielen working the middle. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And Dawson's kick is good. And that'll open the lead up to a touchdown now at 13-6. So he splits the uprights there, and I would imagine it's nice as a kicker. Right when it leaves your foot, you know it's good.
Yeah, it's kind of like a golfer that picks up his tee after a nice drive without even watching it land.
Solid analogy. I like it. Now after the made field goal, here's Dawson back out now to send this one away on the kickoff. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, he did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it. So those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And this one complete to Seth Roberts. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Again has it complete. He'll take this up just shy of the 40. Excellent display of footwork on that run. So this brings up a 2nd and 2.
All right, here we go. 319. 319.
Again, this is Kamara. And now running right through it. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
They're going to look to throw. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. He got 29 yards that time.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Back now. As I search for my cue card here, there we go. Coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will join us from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis from our first half of play.
Well read.
Yeah, thank you. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Catch here, left side, Thomas. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Well, this is how you shape the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Here we go. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He'll look to throw. And that's complete to Lewis. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defense side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Now flags will come in. And I think this is against the Saints up front.
False start, offense.
That's going to set them back 5 yards. They'll look to throw. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. And the offense readies for play number 10 of this series. To throw again. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. And the seemingly endless drive continues. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And that is incomplete.
For nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw is probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down.
My man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, but 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Okay, can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. On the return, here's Bishop Sankey. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now Case Keenum and the offense heading back onto the field. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the 2nd quarter. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
They run it again with Cook. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we send you down to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando, where we find our man Larry Ridley with our halftime report.
So here we go. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Midway through the first quarter, Smith's got to get the quarterback here. This will go for a loss of 8. Vikings with the ball, end of the first. Farrelly's going to take down the QB here. This ends up as a huge loss in yardage. First and 10. Jordan's got to get to the quarterback here. This goes for a loss of 9. Midway through the second quarter, Diggs has got the catch in traffic. And this 2-play drive goes for a TD. That'll do it for us here at EA Sports Studios. Let's get back out to Brandon and Charles for the call of the second half. Brandon.
Fielded about a yard deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies.
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Haoli Kikaha. Able to get in and run him down for a loss of 14.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
On second down, here's Keenum. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And they'll get him down here at the 23. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Back to throw, Keenum. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Throw left side on target to Thielen. Given 9 there on the first down completion. Second down now after the pass completion.
Here we go now.
Keenum throwing once more. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Let's go now, check.
Left side, Cook. A nice little juke. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
No, check, Patriot.
3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Here we go now.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to go up top for the end zone. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
So incomplete on 1st. Let's see what 2nd down has in store. Now we've got movement up front. And I think this is going to be on Minnesota.
False start, offense.
Expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
A give. This is Cook. A big hit. Knocked down sideways. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Here we go now.
A shotgun snap for Keenum. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. It'll be a 47-yard attempt from the left hash.
And his kick is good. Didn't hit it all that well, but he got enough on it to put it through. And that'll make this a 7-point game. So 3 field goals for him here, and this last one helps him stretch out the lead.
And he's been solid as usual. And this is what you need to do. Make sure you get points out of every possession. And so far, they've done a nice job of that.
Now after the made field goal, here's Dawson back out now to send this one away on the kickoff. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Left side and caught by Flainer. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Fresh set of downs here. Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
And the offense behind the chains here a touch on 2nd and 11. They'll drop to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Thomas. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. He got 29 yards that time. And now a first down following that long gain.
Here we go now. Green 39.
Now Kamara. And a short gain down to about the 33. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. It's complete. Flainer, right side. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up third down.
The Saints on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This will be 3rd and 6. Now back to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
So out comes the field goal team once more. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. And Bullock will put this one through, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. Well, it can be a thankless job sometimes, but they'll be thanking their kicker here. That's now 4 field goals for him. He's kept them in the game.
He sure has, but this offense is going to need to find its rhythm because it's going to take more than field goals to win this football game.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas.
Yeah, a little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield, only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
Give them a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Let's go. Blue, landing.
Now a run with Cook. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right. They need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. So they pick up the 1st down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. They run, Cook, and this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
From the gun on 3rd down, Keenum. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Here's Matt Darr now. He's been terrific so far. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. He's knocking on that door for a 100-yard gain.
And what receiver doesn't want to be part of the Century Club? Every receiver, when the game starts, wants to have 100 or more yards next to his name. It's a badge of honor, but it also shows that you're helping out your team.
And he has certainly been helping out his team so far. They go play action here on 1st down. And this one caught along the sideline, but they say already out of bounds. And the throw didn't give him a chance to turn it upfield, and that brings up 2nd down.
That was a nice catch, but unable to stay in bounds. And remember, it wasn't a wide receiver who works on that all the time.
I was going to say, he likes to get the ball handed to him. Now, don't get me wrong, he's part of the passing game as well, but maybe a little out of his comfort zone there.
Yeah, he might want to have a few words to say to us about that later. but I am still going with you on that one. Wide receivers work on a little bit more.
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They'll set up to throw. And that is incomplete.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was third and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
This is taken at the 23. Diggs with a good footwork. A great return there of 22 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now Case Keenum and the offense heading back onto the field. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, someone just needs to tell a joke in the huddle, loosen things up, and get their big guy going again.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Well, we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Stephon Anthony in there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long.
Hurry up, here we go.
From the gun, here's Keenum. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Nick Fairley in there to drop him, and back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Matt Darr now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis as we are just about set to go here in quarter number 4. Here's Matt Darr now, as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap, to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And this is incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position can get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his second drop of the game. They'll set up a throw. On the check down, he finds Kamara. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. This will be fielded at the 17. Now a hit and a loose football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. And now hang on here. The door, can you hear it? It's a little open.
Or is that the squeaky hinges that I'm hearing right now? Yeah, the door.
Is that too high pitch?
No, not at all. The door is open a little bit. It's almost like when you told those horror stories on the camping trip, right? And now, look out.
Yeah.
We've got a little bit different look on the game at this point.
Big momentum swing here in the 4th on the punt fumble. Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's 2nd down. He'll drop to throw. Looking again for Thomas. This time complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off. Usually,
and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Saints have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter.
In as many coaches' meetings as we sit in, we hear the word finish all the time, don't we? And on that play, the back actually finished getting into the end zone, breaking the last tackle. Tried to wrap up, tried to use the proper technique, just wasn't able to get it done.
Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Now Keenum looking middle, and it's incomplete.
In the early days of the NFL, you could easily blame these drops on maybe some uneven or uncertain lighting in a stadium. Not anymore. The lights are pretty good.
Yeah, they're great here at night, but his second drop, indeed, not a good look. Keenum will try again on 2nd down. Caught on the right side by Treadwell. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball.
Get a completion.
You get a catch.
Yeah.
But still,
no yardage.
Okay.
Throwing on 3rd down, Keenum. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
This one away by the punter, Dar. Now it's Ginn. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Saints coming out now to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, it's all about pace and tempo now for them. They've got the advantage, so I'm going to put musical terms for you. You don't want to go prestissimo. That's too quick, too lively, right? But you also don't want to slow it down too much. You don't want to go lento.
And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Jaleel Johnson continuing to fight downfield. The big tackle gets him for a loss of 11.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've converted just twice and have had plenty of opportunities. This will be 3rd and a mile. A 10th carry for Kamara. And he showcased the spin, but couldn't do much else as he's wrangled down. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down. A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in. Even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line, they got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling. Get it right to the hands of your running back. Tell him to take care of the ball and try and move forward.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded at the 33. Well, that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now out comes Minnesota. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome.
Keenum now on 1st down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Let's go! Green 39! Green 39!
Here's Keenum now on 2nd down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Hodges. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10.
Green 39!
Off play action. Keenum. This will be caught inside the 10. A very solid gain of 27. The This offense can certainly move quickly when they want to. 3 plays, 3 pass completions. In the blink of an eye, they've got a 1st and goal.
It almost felt like a lightning bolt hitting this game, didn't it? For them to get downfield that quickly. And now 1st and goal, expect them to tackle right here on this play. 2
big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit them, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll run with Cook. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
2nd and goal from the 5. They try again with Cook. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Brandon, some of those windows to throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal line. Tighter windows made it easier to cover people, actually.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This a fairly straightforward 22-yard short attempt. Dawson's kick is good. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. Well, you talk about clutch right down the pipe, and this game's all even here in the 4th.
And he didn't leave much doubt there, did he? Good snap, good hold, and that one was dead center.
Set to go now with the kickoff. These 2 teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
On the counter, here's Kamara. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
For so many years, I was convinced it was a myth, you know, because you always hear about the smaller running back. Oh, he gets lost, you can't find him, and sometimes that's part of his genius. But it's true. You get behind big offensive linemen, the defensive line guy's trying to find him, trying to peek around people to see him, and he gets lost. But this guy gets lost in a good way for his offense, picking up big yardage.
Here we go now. Green, 39. Green.
Staying on the ground on 1st with Kamara. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the pickup. And just like that, it's third down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Let's go! Green 39! Green 39!
He'll look to throw to the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be fourth down. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But also have to remember, they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
The left side caught by Diggs. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. On the ground, it's Cook. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Tie game late, and the offense really has to be conscious of the clock here as it's becoming a factor late in this ball game.
Detroit!
From the pistol, they run it with Cook. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Now Keenum. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Here's Matt Darr now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And this is a beauty as that ball's going to angle out at the 6-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
The catch made over the middle by Ginn. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march up another 15 against your squad.
Back to throw here. And brought in here by Flainer. A very tough run, but for a short gain out near the 32. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. Now he's going to go up top. Over and got his man complete. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call. Mark off the 5 and keep it moving.
So after nearly turning it over, new life here for the offense on second down. Back to throw. And his throw is incomplete. He was trying to hit Thomas that time, and it's 3rd and short. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
And it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is it just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
They'll look to throw. It's complete to Flainer. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Looking to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Harris. 23 yards on the play.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. On the ground, Kamara. And not much running room. Down to the 32. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Well, time not on their side here. In fact, a lot going against them. They do have a small glimmer of hope.
No one likes to play extra football. They want to go for the win right now.
On second down, Kamara. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. The busy night continues for Kamara. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. And this one is right down the middle. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now on the return here, we've got an injured player down there. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. He'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Cameron Jordan in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. And down to just 21 seconds now as he spikes it to stop the clock. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. He's back to throw. Open man is Thielen is complete. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. An unbelievable play there on fourth and long. 53 yards. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for New Orleans, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll get a few extra days to savor this one before they take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers.